What if the most important wins in your life are the ones that no one ever sees? What if the life that you're building isn't shaped by your big breakthroughs, but by the small, tiny, quiet choices you make when no one's watching? Welcome to your cup of awakening, your small, powerful sips of truth, the kind that shifts everything in real life and in real time. So grab your cafecito, your tea, or your water, and let's slow this moment down. Yeah, I'm realizing something, and it feels important to say aloud today in this moment. And it feels important to say. So I think it's time that I start being more open and honest about my recovery and my sobriety journey. Because so much of what I teach, so much of what I live and so much of the awareness and awakening that has transpired in my life comes from learning how to sit with myself, how to be still, without numbing, without escaping, without quieting the noise, the old way, like the only way that I've always known how. Because the truth is, we all learn how to cope. We all learn how to survive. Some of us overthink, overwork, overgive, overcontrol, overexplain. And then some of us numb. We numb with alcohol, with food, with distractions, with, social media scrolling, and then, with drugs or smoking. I would say, if I dare to say, some of us do it with coffee too. But underneath all of it all, we're really just trying to quiet something underneath in our minds. We're trying to quiet the pain, the fear, the worry, the not feeling enough, the not feeling safe, the not feeling lovable, the fear of abandonment, the fear of not getting it right. And I say that in quotes. Yeah, hurt people, but healed people heal people. And healing doesn't happen in one big moment like we all believe or expect. I mean, I used to think I was like, "Oh yes, I'm healed. Woohoo, hallelujah." And then the next day or the next moment, I was like back in the same pattern. I was like, "What happened? Am I broken? Is this mic on?" You know? But it really actually happens in the small choices that you make. It happens in the small choices that you make. It's usually the wins that no one's clapping for or that no one actually posts about. Like, no one's going to post about that because it seems not important. Perhaps it's something where perhaps the win is, choosing not to react. Perhaps the small win is that you actually chose to pause in that moment. Maybe you chose to walk away. Maybe you chose to speak with love instead of fear or anger. Maybe you chose to stay present when you like really wanted to just escape, run away and blow shit up. Those are actually the real wins. So celebrate yourself. Because what I've been learning is that I get to celebrate those wins. I've been learning how to celebrate those wins lately. And celebration could look like Just even doing like a happy dance. Maybe it's going rollerblading. Maybe it's getting some ice cream. Maybe it's spending time with a girlfriend. Maybe it's just saying hallelujah, giving myself a pat on the back. Because as a recovering perfectionist, anybody out there like that? I used to think that I had to look perfect to matter. Is that you? Have you been taught that you need to look good because don't worry, like you can't wear that. You can't do that. You can't say that because people are going to judge you. People are going to be like it's like, oh, what? Who? There's so many rules about like what perfectionism is. And I used to think that I needed to be that way to be accepted and loved and chosen. And the truth is, like, perfection actually robbed me. It robbed me of opportunities. It robbed me of connection, friendships, love, expression, life, success. Where have you missed out on opportunities thinking that you had to do it a certain way to look good? Because perfection doesn't protect you, it disconnects you from yourself, from your truth, from your power, from your light. And now I see it. It's not about perfection. It's really about just making a better than choice in that moment. Pausing long enough to see and feel that I have a choice. And it's not about making the best choice or the perfect choice or the choice that they want me to make them feel good. But it's really about the next aligned choice. Like what is aligned with who you are and who you're becoming and what it is that you want from love. Because the one that moves you closer to that version of you that you're becoming is the right choice, is the aligned choice. Because facts here, okay, truth bomb, you're not here to choose from your past identities, your old patterns, or the version of you that labeled you as not enough, too much, broken. You are here to choose who you're becoming moment by moment. And yes, your nervous system learned to survive. There's no shame in that. You didn't know what you didn't know. You weren't given the tools. But now you do. And now you get to teach yourself how to thrive. So pause with me for a moment. Put your hand in your heart and the other in your womb, in your stomach. Take a deep breath in your nose. Slow count in for 4. Hold it at the top for 4. And then breathe out slowly through your mouth for 8 counts. That signals your body that you're safer in this moment, that it's okay. And then ask yourself, what is that one better than choice that I can make in this moment right now? And remember, it's not a perfect choice. It's not the polished choice. It's just the aligned choice. Hmm. Yeah, something that I've been noticing lately is that it's so easy to judge. It's so easy to criticize and belittle and put people down, to make people wrong, to hurt, to hate, to choose anger. So easy. But when I shifted from thinking like, oh my gosh, why don't they understand me? Don't they see like that's not who I am? Why don't they understand me? I'm just not understood. I mean, I used to rehearse that all the time. Then I shifted that into like, let me try to understand them a little better. Like, why are they thinking that? Why are they choosing that? Who are they? Like getting curious, like, so like, what do you actually think? Like, what's your truth? Just getting curious instead of making it mean something about you. Just get curious. Just lean in and be like, I'm just trying to understand you right now. What is it that you're actually saying? And that's when everything started shifting and changing for me. I started deepening my connections. I started to really just soften. I started loving with intention. And then space just started opening. And a funny thing too is that like time actually started to slow down. You don't have to create connection by being understood first. That's not how you create it. You create connection by understanding others, getting curious. Why do they think the way they do? Why do they believe what they believe? Like, are they operating from fear, hurt, pain, just like you, just like me? And when I started getting curious and listening and understanding others, I started to learn and understand myself deeper, better, with compassion and forgiveness and grace. That's the work. And learning, unlearning those beliefs that once kept you safe, but they're actually no longer serving you, is where the work is. Choosing yourself, not from ego, not from ego, but from love, compassion, empathy. Practicing grace, forgiveness, and compassion, like I said, that is where the work is. And it starts with you first. It started with me being all those to myself first, giving myself grace, forgiving myself, having compassion with myself, understanding myself on a deeper level. Getting curious is the only way that I got there because it starts with you. That way you can extend it to others. That way you can be that for others. Because when you're being that for others, but not for yourself, you're abandoning yourself. I hate to say it, but I've been abandoning myself for years. Does that sound like you? Do you know the difference between boundaries and self-abandonment? Because I didn't. It took me a while. I'm still learning. I'm human. I'm not getting it right every time, but I'm making a better than choice in it, the moments that I can, and having grace, forgiveness, and compassion for the other times that I can't. Are you giving grace, forgiveness, and understanding to yourself and to others in your life for being messy, imperfect, bold, too much? Because you're allowed to be messy, imperfect, bold, afraid, free, loving, human. You're allowed to be human. You're allowed to be imperfect. And you're allowed to stumble. Like, wouldn't you want to have someone give you grace and forgiveness the times that you don't get it right? Of course. Why don't we extend the same for others in our lives? Why do we expect so much from others? And then we're not showing up in that same expectation. That's what I call hypocrisy. Don't be a hypocrite out in the world. Do you know any hypocrites out there? Are you a hypocrite? I know I've been a hypocrite. I'm calling myself out. But I'm allowed to make mistakes, and so are you. I'm allowed to get it wrong, and so are you, and so are they. Because up until now, we've been rehearsing a version of ourselves that is not our true identity. You don't have to get it perfect. You just have to choose what aligns with the version of you that you're becoming. I'll say it again. You don't have to get it perfect. You just have to notice, pause, and then choose again. That's how you rebuild self-trust. That's how you create connection. That's how you come home to yourself. Because you are not here to react from your past. You are here to choose from your truth, from your soul, from love. And every time you choose differently, even in the smallest moment, that better than choice, you are remembering who you are. Bottom line, you're remembering who you are. And you are perfectly imperfect, just like me. Hmm. I am Margarita Rose, your solstice here today, and this was your cup of awakening. Please sip it slowly, sisters. And if this episode expanded your awareness, I would like to ask you to please subscribe, share, comment, like, so this content can go out to that woman, the sister who still feels alone and that healing's not possible for her. I'll meet you here next time on the same Soul Spark channel. And remember, be kind to yourself and others.